My name is Randy Frantz, and I'm responsible for telecommunications services at ESRI. And we're going to be talking about geographic information systems. What exactly are they? Well, geospatial systems, or geospatial data, can be ingested into a GIS. And what the GIS allows you to do is take a different look at data. So what we have here is we have an example. A lot of wireless companies now are concerned about what kind of service are the customers seeing. So we can see here, this is an indication of several different types of data layers. We have the cell sites, and then we have the coverage areas of those cell sites. And the different colors indicate the strength of the signals. So if you're close to a cell site in a red area, you're going to get a strong signal. Further away, blue, you're going to get a weaker signal. So you can drill in and look at the individual cell sites, you can get information about them, and you can see the general coverage areas. So why is this important? Well, you want to see what kind of service your customers are getting. So we've got an area here, this is southern Florida, and we've got the cell sites that you can clearly see. And we're going to say, suppose we have a severe weather event, which we typically have down here in southern Florida, and we can bring in another layer of information and superimpose it on our network. So we're the service provider, and we want to see what's the impact that this is going to have on our service area. So we can see an impending storm, we can see the warning areas that we superimposed here. So we can expect that we're going to have some kind of service interruption. And we can then take in the signal information from the different cell sites and see what the status of those cell sites are. So the green indicates those cell sites are up and operating. Here we have a group of cell sites that have lost power, as indicated by the P and the yellow coding. So you can see, bring that information up. But the important thing is, what kind of impact has this had on our customers? And so what we can do is, because we know the signal strength, we can then look at the areas and say, what now is the coverage area that those cell sites that are currently operating providing, and those cell sites that have lost service or are no longer propagating a signal, what impact is that having on our customers? So we can take, and we're going to bring in another layer here and look at the coverage areas. So what we've done is we've color-coded the areas that if it's in blue, that has impaired signal. So there's overlapping coverage on some of the cell sites, and some of the other cell sites that are still operational are providing some service. But in the gray area here, we've lost service completely because we've lost so many towers that there's no longer any cell coverage in those areas. But what is the true impact on the customers? Well, what we can do is we can select and look at it by counties. So we can see inside this polygon area with no services available, we can see how many customers have actually lost service. And this is the kind of thing that you can do with the GIS. You can take additional information in. You can look at the total population and areas that are affected. You can look at household areas, number of households that are passed, and see what the impact is there. And so we have two areas that are really out of service, down here and then up north. And it looks like the area up north is the bigger area. Maybe that's where we should send our crews first. However, if we look at that from a population perspective and number of households, we see that's relatively small. So the area we really want to cover is down here, because that has the most population and the most affected area. We can also run various scenarios in here. We can say, which tower should we restore first, set the priorities. So what the GIS allows us to do is allows us to take information, geospatial data, compile it, allows us to analyze it, and then to plan out the scenario and look at how we're going to respond to things like storms and outages. It provides very powerful tools for operators when they're looking to maintain the service levels that their customers expect. This is just a few of the many capabilities that the GIS can provide to service providers and wireless companies. Thank you.